Welcome back, CCO Nation, to CCO Supplemental Series. Ryan, Brando, here today to talk about Return to Ravnica block abilities.
Not to be confused with Return to Ravnica block, which is what we're in.
Yeah. What we're leading up to, I guess, at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, the CCO Supplemental Series is going to be capped off at the end of this month with our Ravnica Allegiance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Set review on Commander Cookout Podcast proper, but today we are looking at Return to Ravnica block abilities. All 10 guilds, our favorite card in each guild. Less stinkers than last week.
But some of the stinkers are stinky.
Some of the stinkers are like a dead carcass on the highway.
It's driven over once or twice.
In July.
Yup. Hot July.
Yeah, not a rainy July.
Like you have in Wisconsin.
Should we get into it?
First, we should thank our generous patrons for making this video and all videos like it very possible. We really appreciate it, you guys. Check out our Patreon page if you're in a position to support the channel. Help us grow. We really appreciate it. Also,
links in the notes below. Are we supposed to say that?
Yes. You know what else we're supposed to say? We're supposed to say, share, subscribe, click the bell to stay notified, and smash that like button. And you can be entered to win this cat deck.
Ooh.
There's all kinds of good stuff in it. Way more value than I think you think. I think people were kind of underestimating it when it first came out, but it's retained lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Probably because it was the one that was warming the peg at the Walmart.
What?
That's a toy collector term. Peg warmers are the toy that nobody wants, and they just keep the pegs warm until the new ones come in. Like Bumblebee and Transformers toys.
If I was on the internet...
Don't Google that. Don't Google it. But...
It's safe to YouTube it, but don't Google it, for Christ's sake.
But like, share, subscribe, and you could win this fabulous cat deck. That's just a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. Now we can start.
Cool your peg. That's what you should have said. Cool your peg. We have to promo our cat deck.
I would never say that, Ryan. I would never talk about cooling a peg. Not ever.
I don't know what that means either.
I'm not exactly sure either. If somebody knows, it's a good comment you could leave us.
Ooh, yeah. Get yourself entered.
There it is.
Getting right into it.
Yes.
Who's our first guild?
Azorius.
Yeah, that's what it was last time too.
Yeah. Detain.
So detain is like a kind of keyword thing. It triggers and it, when you detain something, is to make it unable to attack or block or activate its abilities until your next upkeep.
Until its controller's next upkeep?
No, until us.
To
right?
my next upkeep.
Because then we can just detain it again if we want to. We can continue to detain it.
It sounds odd. It's such a blue-white thing to do.
Yeah, it's repeatable, which is great. Who did you get?
I picked Martial Law because I didn't like this ability very much, and at least this one lets you kind of do it on your upkeep just for free. You're just doing it now. You can get their big blocker out of the way.
What else does it do?
That's all it does, man. It detains stuff.
That's all it goddamn does.
Detain. You play it, and then you don't even get a benefit out of it until your next turn.
Oh!
Yeah, baby. Play your ley line of anticipation. What'd you pick, Ryan?
Equally, kind of just as bad, unless you build around it. Lavinia of the 10th.
The hell is that?
Enters the battlefield, detain each thing opponent controls with converted mana cost 4 or less.
Less? Does that include land?
No. I had to check because that would be really good, but...
No. Okay, well, yeah. So it still sucks. Good.
If you can blink it, that's good.
Yeah?
If it's in like a Brago deck in the 99, that's still okay. How about we just move on?
Let's just go on to Damir.
Yeah.
Damir.
Cipher.
Now, Cipher, if you remember our last video where we talked about how bad Haunt sucked, Wizards realized that Haunt sucked and fixed it, and then gave it to Damir.
Sort of fixed it.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
So when you Cipher, you cast the spell, right? and then instead of putting it into your graveyard, you exile it and it's encoded onto a card. Is that right?
Onto a creature.
Onto a creature. And whenever the creature attacks, you can cast the encoded card.
Is it when it attacks or when it does damage? Deals combat damage.
Suppose we should have done the research on Cipher. Shows you how much we played it. What did you like?
Stolen identity. And everybody knew that because I love clones. And it lets you copy an artifact or creature, get a token of it. It's awesome.
So attack with a dude, then you get to copy a dude.
Yeah, you get a new dude or a new thing. You want a whole bunch of Gilded Lotuses? There you go. You want one of those things that you pay 50 life to 50 somebody?
Ooh.
Get one of those.
Aetherflux Reservoir.
Yeah.
Personal favorite.
Like you want all of that scumbag shit? Stolen identity.
I'm going for Scumbag of the Year. Not only did I pick Aetherflux Reservoir as my favorite card just like 5 seconds ago.
Oh.
Also, Undercity Plague. That's my Cipher card.
Oh, God.
6 mana. When you encode it and cast it for attacking... What do we call that? When you Cipher it?
Sure.
Target player sacks permanent, loses life, discards a card.
Pox.
Oh, baby.
Smallpox.
Costs 6.
So does Stolen Identity.
What's better? I don't know.
Nah.
Depends on the deck. Whatever.
Stolen Identity is better.
Moving on.
Sure. Interactos.
Yes. This was the guild that I played in both the pre-release and the launch party for Return to Ravnica, and the guild I tried to draft. And for that reason, I think that's why I picked the card that I did. Not because it's good in EDH, because Unleash sucks.
Unleash is terrible.
Yeah, two or 3 weeks ago, we did Lysolda the Blood Witch on Commander Cookout Podcast, and we explicitly avoided Unleash, right?
Yeah, I think I put in one sort of Unleash card.
So when a creature with Unleash enters battlefield, you can put a +1/+1 counter onto it. If you do, it can't block. And while that's great to make your guys bigger, where you get like aggressively costed creatures, that's it, right? They become more aggressive, but then they can't block. But then you have to beat 3 other people.
Dope.
Yeah.
If only it also gave them haste.
Ooh. Who did you pick?
Ixava Blood Witch. Proof that looking sexy doesn't make you good at stuff. And the only reason I picked her is because all of your cards have Unleash. And if you have a shitty ability, just give it to everything. Maybe you can make it work.
I picked Carnival Hellsteed just because it's a big beater.
Unleash sucks.
Moving on.
Speaking of sucks, Blood Rush sucks.
Does it?
It does.
I thought it was good.
You think wrong, Ryan. You think wrong. Blood Rush is when you discard a creature that's in your hand to give the creature you have in play the creature you just discarded abilities, power, and toughness.
So instead of casting the creature and getting continual attacks value from that creature, you can discard it for a one-time effect.
Yeah.
That sounds like magic that we like.
No.
Oh.
No. Sometimes they're going to dust your dude. And then you've discarded a dude to make your dude better, to make them more appealing to remove.
I want my dude dusted.
Don't Google that.
Who did you pick?
I picked Gore Clan Rampager because he gives trample.
Ooh. I picked Skarg Goliath because he gives +9/+9. What if you could combine them?
Then Blood Rush wouldn't suck.
Oh. There's also Rubble Hulk. That's what we maybe should have picked. +X+X, X equal number of lands you control.
Or you could just play Rubble Hulk.
Because he's XX.
Because he's giant. Just a thought.
Sure. Are we passing on this one?
Blood Rush sucks.
Moving on. Celestia. This one isn't bad. Populate. So to populate, you pay some cost or cast some spell that has populate on it, and you can put a copy of a token into play.
Merit Lage, baby.
It's legendary. Is it? Is it legendary?
It is legendary. But you can get another one if you're playing Pandemonium. Good.
Yeah. I picked Sundering Growth. I don't know. It's kind of minor, But if you're going to run Disenchant and you're playing tokens, like play Sundering Growth instead.
Fine.
What'd you got?
I picked Tristani because it just has Populate on it.
I feel like nothing really else. I don't know. Tell us if we're wrong in the comments, but is anything else with Populate really that great? I don't know.
I don't think so. It really requires you to run either suboptimal shit or a bunch of other stuff. And who cares if you get an extra plant token? My land gave it to me for free.
If I'm going to run Selesnya, I'm playing Captain Sisay Paradox combo. Scumbag of the Year.
I'm not doing that. I don't know what I'm...
If I'm going to run green-white in any other capacity, it's going to be with other colors.
Like red. Like Grimlock.
That could be a thing. Mm-hmm. Or Rith the Awakener. There's your token commander.
Yeah.
He's a big dragon with flying. Like, I don't know. I think that's better.
Super medium. Populate.
Moving on. Here's a good one, right? Extort.
I think it might be could it be the best one?
The best one in all of the first 2 Ravnica visits?
I think it might be. It's not as powerful as Dredge overall, but if you're doing Dredge, you're playing Dredge. If you're playing something like a Cryptghast, you just have an ability that's cool, that's stapled to a card that you want to play anyway.
So Extort is when you have a creature enter the battlefield, or when you cast a spell?
When you cast any spell.
When you cast any spell, you can play white or black, and that's in the reminder text. So you can play this outside of white-black decks. You can play it in your black-red deck. When you cast a spell, you pay the extort cost, white or black, and each player loses a life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. That's the old wording. That's the first thing to keep in mind. So if you have 3 or 4 or 5 opponents, you're gaining 3 or 4 or 5 life. And then all the extort cards are actually on things that are good.
Yeah, like Cryptghast.
Cryptghast. I liked Blind Obedience. That was my pick. But I also like Pontiff of Blight. That gives all your guys extort. Yeah. And hold on a sec. That gives all your guys extort. Let's just expand on that just for a minute, because extort will trigger every time you play a thing. So if you have 5 guys and you play a 1-drop and you pay the extort cost for each of your 5 guys that also have extort, each opponent loses 5 life and then you gain that much life. That's good.
It's nuts. Extort is very good. And it doesn't hurt that they stapled it to good cards.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of these other abilities where they just put them on shitty cards.
Yeah, Kingpin's Pet and Tithe Drinker, like, those are good cards.
They're not too bad.
Not the best in EDH, I will admit, but there are some places for those cards, especially alongside things like your Pontiff of Blight.
Correct.
Yeah. Moving on.
Speaking of abilities where they just staple them onto super shitty creatures, Scavenge.
Yeah.
They figured, oh, Golgari. Oh, they got Dredge. Oh, they're so strong. It's not like we've been printing hate for Dredge for a decade now. We should give them a shitty ability too. Scavenge is worse than Haunt. And Haunt is the 3rd worst ability.
You think Scavenge is worse than Haunt?
I think that Scavenge is worse than Haunt.
Worse than Haunt?
Worse than Haunt.
Are we thinking of the same ability?
We are definitely thinking of the same ability. Because Scavenge is awful. You remove a creature from your graveyard, because that's what Golgari loves to do, is take things out of its own graveyard to put counters on things that are in play.
Specifically, Golgari likes to take things out of their graveyard, they do, and put them into play or into their hand again.
But not out of the game.
Not into exile.
What's the point? Look, it's a 1/1 for 1 that you can remove from your graveyard and put a counter on one of your guys. Oh, sweet. Maybe I'll just play something better.
There is one card. We both picked the same card for this, actually.
And you know why we picked the same card for both of them? Both of us? Because Virals gives a shitty ability to all of your cards. So maybe it's good now, because now you don't have to play things with Scavenge. You just play things.
I actually picked him because there's a CEDH deck list where he's the commander.
See? Scavenge is terrible. Wizards should be ashamed.
Scumbag of the Year. Speaking of picking the same card, we both actually picked the same Simic card with Evolve. So Evolve, this was an interesting one. It's got like, it checks when it tries to do it, and then it checks again when it tries to resolve. This is a weird ability. Yeah. So Evolve is whenever you have a creature enter the battlefield with power or toughness bigger than your creature that's in play with Evolve, you put a +1 counter on the creature with Evolve. We both picked Fathom Mage. It's the 4-drop. Whenever it gets a +1/+1 counter on it, you draw a card.
Pretty cool.
Yes. You just slot it in. If you can get this guy like, it's 1/1. So if you get it like on a turn 2 with a Sol Ring, and then you just continue to curve out into like your 2/2, your 3/3, your 5/5, your whatever, it's just going to continue drawing you cards.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It kind of acts like a Phyrexian Arena that you don't lose a life for that you can attack with.
Yeah. It's got a finite bigness on it in most decks, but it's still pretty cool.
Put it in your Hydra deck.
There you go.
Yeah. Next card. Here's what I thought was going to be the best ability in all of Ravnica. Overload.
God.
Yeah. So you could cast the card for its regular, or you could cast it. It's an alternate casting cost for its overload cost. What'd you pick?
Rift.
Ooh. Cyclonic Rift. Probably the most talked about card last year when people talk about banning it or not banning it, right?
Yeah. What camp do you fall into, Ryan?
I fall into not ban. I fall into the camp of there are a ton of cards that shouldn't be banned that are.
I fall into play it responsibly camp.
Yeah, I think that we both and our play group and what we talk about on Commander Cookout Podcast is being responsible, unless we're grossly exaggerating some strategy that we're trying to be a jerk about or think about. Like I never do. I picked Vandoblast because same thing. You can destroy one artifact just like you can bounce one guy with Rift, or you can destroy all of them.
Excellent.
Yeah, but the list of overload cards that are good is pretty long. Like the other one that I'm thinking about right off the bat is Mizium Mortars.
Yeah, Mortars was good.
Kills creatures, right? Kind of like a red one-sided board wrath. There's also Dragon Shift. Makes one of your guys into like a flying dragon, or makes all your guys into a flying dragon.
Which is pretty okay.
Yeah. I think it's good.
It's a good ability. I wish Vandoblast was an instant.
Ooh, baby. That'd be good. Yeah. Next card.
We have reached the bottom of the barrel again, Ryan.
Why did we do the bottom of the barrel last? We just both liked the last guild.
Yeah, well, now we're at Boros. So now we can take all that and throw it in the garbage. And we can talk about Boros cards. Battalion. Better than Radiance.
Is it though?
It definitely is better than Radiance. Radiance is the worst. Radiance is the worst.
We're not getting into it. Battalion. When you attack with 3 or more creatures, right?
Correct.
It triggers in whatever creature that has Battalion gives you some benefit.
Yes.
It's I don't really like this kind of ability, not because it attacks, not because whatever. It's just like it's some condition you have to meet, and then you get some weird thing that isn't the same on all the cards. I think it's a little bit messy.
Sure.
That's the first reason I don't like it, right?
That's fine.
I like going back to Overload. I like that there is a cost and then an overload cost. It's one thing or it's all the things. Like it's just that feels a lot more clean than Battalion. You got to attack with 3 all the time, but then the thing that you get is always different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that adds complexity to the game. Maybe I drink too much when I play.
Well, there's only one Battalion card that anybody plays, Ryan. And it's Legion Loyalist. And it's fine, okay? I finally got to talk about a damn goblin. It took 20 cards, but here we are. We're talking about a goblin. This guy wins games all the time. He's a very good card.
Yeah.
Play him in Krenko.
Attack with 3 or more creatures. All the attacking creatures get first strike and trample?
Yep.
Why don't they get +1/+0? Why don't they get +2/+0 and trample and just that?
Because the other ability is a house. The other ability is what makes him so good. Because he can't be blocked by creature tokens.
Oh, that part.
Yeah. Ooh, nice wall of saprolings, bud. Let me just sneak in there and pillage your booty.
I was going to make a wall of huge dudes joke, but you made a pillage the booty joke. I'm sure that if we combine those, you shouldn't Google it.
Definitely not. Huge dudes pirating booties. Nope. Nope. Nope.
No.
That's a treasure map to somewhere we don't want to go. Sticking with the pirate theme there.
Got it. I'm going to go with Legion Loyalist as well, just because I trust Brando. He knows goblins. He knows aggro. I think I am going to go and have another drink of tequila that I got for Christmas from my mom. And that's all I got. What did you think of Return to Ravnica block as opposed to original Ravnica City of Guilds block?
Was there a dredge in Return to Ravnica, Ryan?
There was not.
It was terrible.
Not what I thought you were going to say. I'm not surprised that you think that, but...
But it is where we have ended up, Ryan.
Very much so. So, if you think that Return to Ravnica block is as shitty as Brando did, I liked it. I drafted it a little bit. I played in the launches and the releases, and I have a lot of those cards.
I didn't think it was shitty. I just don't think it's as good as Ravnica.
Maybe that's the thing.
If you thought OG Ravnica was way better because it was, then there you go. Hashtag Team Brando.
You just made that up.
Yeah.
Are we going to have competitions now?
I guess so.
God, you just made that up?
Yeah.
Okay, hashtag Team Ryan, just because I wanted to say mine too. I guess listen to Commander Cookout Podcast to get more details on whatever that's going to mean. Big thanks to all of our patrons who make these videos possible. Link to our Patreon page will be in the show notes. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment.
And smash the like button.
Smash the like button. And Brando also forgot to mention in the top of the episode to go to Podomatic.com, search up Commander Cookout Podcast. You could subscribe, request more, or I want more button. That helps us a lot in the Podomatic rankings. I think we crapped on top 10.
Yeah, we did.
We cracked the top 10 there. So huge thanks to everybody who helped us achieve that. And all of that combined will help you win that cat deck wherever it ended up.
Yeah, it's down there somewhere. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's rolling around a bit. It'll be okay.
Is that a touchdown? What he said.